Alright, so yeah, it's the laptop, because I'm still on here. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Alright. Shalom, Claudette Collins, Gloria Benson, Amber Zion. Shalom, Chucky, how you doing? Alright, so yeah, something's goofy on the laptop version of Facebook because it keeps going black, but it's staying on my phone, so whatever. Alright, so we are on day 3, Jeremiah 3. Alright, here we go. They say, if a man divorces his wife and she goes from him and becomes another man's wife, may he return to her again? The answer of that would be Deuteronomy 24:4, 1 through 4, and the answer is no. And it says that the land would be profane. Here it says, would not the land be greatly polluted? But you have played the harlot with many lovers, yet return to me, says Yehovah. Lift up your eyes to the desolate heights and see, where have you not lain with men? By the road you have sat for them, like an Arabian in the wilderness, and you have polluted the land with your harlotries and your wickedness. Therefore the showers have been withheld, and there has been no latter rain. You have had a harlot's forehead. You refuse to be ashamed. Will you not from this time cry to me, my Father, you are the guide of my youth? Will he remain angry forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, you have spoken and done evil things as you were able. Yehovah said also to me in the days of Josiah the king, have you seen what backsliding Israel has done? She has gone up on every high mountain and under every green tree, and there played the harlot. And I said, after she had done all these things, return to me. But she did not return, and her treacherous sister Yehuda saw it. Then I saw that for all the causes for which backsliding Israel had committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a certificate of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Yehuda did not fear, but went and played the harlot also. So it came to pass through her casual harlotry that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and trees. And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Yehuda has not turned to me with her whole heart, but in pretense, says Yehovah. Then Yehovah said to me, now one thing to touch on real quick, actually I'll wait till I get there. Then Yehovah said to me, backsliding Israel has shown herself more righteous than treacherous Yehuda. Go and proclaim these words towards the north and say, return, backsliding Israel, says Yehovah, I will cause my anger to fall on you. I will not cause my anger to fall on you. I will not remain angry forever. Only acknowledge your iniquity that you have transgressed against Yehovah your Elohim, and have scattered your charms to alien deities under every green tree. And you have not obeyed my voice, says Yehovah. Return, O backsliding children, says Yehovah, for I am married to you. I will take you, one from a city, two from a family. I will bring you to Zion. I will give you shepherds according to my heart, who will feed you with knowledge and understanding. So we're getting into what Yah is done and what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. He divorced Israel because of her spiritual idolatry and harlotry. And as it says at the beginning of this chapter, can a man divorce his wife or go to another and become another man's wife and then return to her? May he return to her again. Would not that land be greatly polluted? So Yah is showing us in a reference from the physical even, because I've had a couple people argue with me on the thing that Anthony and I did a series on about the greatest truth never told, that Yehovah is Yeshua, and that of why Yehovah could not be the Father, as far as all throughout the scriptures from Genesis 1, with Moshe, with Jacob, all these places, that it's always been the Son all along. And it was the Son that married Israel. But I've been told, I've had a couple people come against us saying, well, you can't apply the physical to this because it wasn't a physical consummation kind of thing. And it's like, well, that doesn't matter. It is physical and spiritual, because he did physically marry Israel at Mount Sinai. Now, it wasn't a marriage like a husband and wife go into their room and stuff like that, but it still had physical attributes to it through the Torah and everything that Yah proclaimed to be what bound them in this covenant with Yehovah. Does that make sense? And otherwise, there would be no reason for Yah to have this written, have Jeremiah write this part, which happens to come from Deuteronomy 24, 1 through 4. And it says, if a man has a wife and he finds no pleasure in her, whatever, he divorces her, she goes and marries another, and then that husband dies or divorces her, she cannot come back unto her first husband, because it would profane the land, because she has played the adulteress. And then Romans 7 finishes that in the fact that it says that the woman who is married to her first husband is bound by that covenant until the first husband dies. This is also why the father could not have been the husband, because the father cannot die. And the son cannot have the father's wife, because that is yet another thing that is an abomination in the Torah. So all of these things explaining that, one, this is Yeshua who is married to Israel. Two, she has played the harlot. He says, I've given her a certificate of divorce. But he says, but you are married to me, because that first covenant with him is still bound. Even though they're divorced, she's still bound to him, as Romans 7 tells us, 1 through 3. So the only way, and as it also says in Romans 7, 1 through 3, the only way for her to be released and not be an adulteress is by the first husband dying. If the first husband dies, she is released from that covenant and no longer an adulteress. And that's what Yeshua had to do. Let's see, where am I at? Okay. So, verse 14. Return, O backsliding children, says Yehovah, for I am married to you. I will take you, one from a city, two from a family, and I will bring you to Zion. I will give you shepherds according to my heart, who will feed you with knowledge and understanding. Then it shall come to pass, when you are multiplied and increased to the land in those days, says Yehovah, that they will say no more. That they will say no more, the ark of the covenant of Yehovah. It shall not come to mind, nor shall they remember it, nor shall they visit it, nor shall it be made anymore. At that time, Yerushalayim shall be called the throne of Yehovah, and all the nations shall be gathered to it. This is entering into millennial reign. To the name of Yehovah, to Yerushalayim. No more shall they follow the dictates of their evil hearts. In those days the house of Yehudah shall walk with the house of Yisrael, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given as an inheritance to your fathers. This is Jeremiah 31 through 34 being fulfilled. But I said, how can I put you among the children and give you a pleasant land, a beautiful heritage of the host of nations? And I said, you shall call me my father. Now, this is where people get confused and think, well, proves it's a father. It's not a father like I'm a father to my daughters. This is a father in the sense of, it's like somebody who creates, people who create a robot or they create a people. they are a father in the sense of being the creator, but not a father in the sense of I begot you as you begot your sons and daughters. There's two different versions of a father, and that's what this is talking about. You shall call me my father and not turn away from me. Surely as a wife treacherously departs from her husband. So we see that in the understanding that he's saying that in the very next verse, surely as a wife treacherously departs from her husband, so have you dealt treacherously with me. So we know that obviously Yah is not talking about being the father as that they were begotten by him, but as a father is the one who created them as a human race, for lack of better words. I'm going to reread the last part. So have you dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, says Yehovah. A voice was heard on the desolate heights, weeping and supplications of the children of Israel. For they have perverted their way, they have forgotten Yehovah Elohim. Return, you backsliding children, and I will heal your backslidings. Indeed, we do come to you, for you are Yehovah our Elohim. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in Yehovah our Elohim is the salvation of Yisrael. For shame has devoured the labor of our fathers from our youth. Their flocks and their herds, their sons and their daughters, we lie down in our shame, and our reproach covers us. For we have sinned against Yehovah our Elohim, we and our fathers, for our youth, even to this day, from our youth, and have not obeyed the voice of Yehovah our Elohim. Amen. All right, Mishpachah, I hope you all have a blessed day, and may you be filled with Yah's word in every way on your hearts and in your mind. And I pray that may everything you say and do just be focused on bringing honor and glory to his name and not profane his name. Amen. May you be blessed and be safe. Love you all, but most of all, Yah loves you. Shalom, shalom.